There's actually 2 beers called New Boot Goofing that I found out about. And I was like, hey, would you send me some? And they're like, yeah. And then they sent me like 1. And I was like, why don't I send you a cease and desist? But no, they're lovely.
They sent you 1?
They sent me like a beer. It was so cute. But I'm from cable. I'm used to that kind of thing.
Please welcome to the stage, the one, the only, it's Thomas Lennon. He's running full speed. Yes. Okay, hi. Thank you for being here. Come on. All right. That was exciting. You bounded out here.
First, I want to apologize to the people that can see us in person for looking so much like Eric Hovde.
Stop. That's pretty good. Hi, it's nice to see you.
It's so good to see you. Hi.
Do you know that we met once before?
Where was that?
It was a punch-up.
Oh, shit.
For a...
Oh, what?
For a
something
script.
bad. Something bad.
It was a movie that I think was ultimately called The Campaign.
Oh, wait.
With Zach Galifianakis and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And I'd never been in a punch-up before.
Those are a horrible thing. They do these things when a movie is really just already tanking and they just are looking at it on paper. It's such a scary thing. And then they get a bunch of people in a room and they get a bunch of like donuts and crullers and stuff. And then people throw out thousands of jokes. Mm-hmm. And it's just and none of them are ever in the movie.
They're never in the movie.
It's just like you put hats on hats on hats on hats on hats. It's the 5,000 hats of Bartholomew Cubbins, basically.
Because the movie's already about to be made. So they can't change anything. It's like, well, you can't make it. You can't change too much.
But they hate it.
But they hate it.
But they hate it so much.
They hate it. We got to change everything, but nothing.
Yeah.
It has to be completely different. But we have to shoot exactly what we've already written.
We hate this so much, but we've already spent $70 million.
And so you try to. So a lot of times, what you'll end up, it's like, okay, when this person's head is facing away,
ADR jokes.
We'll have the actor come back in and write a joke that you can say from far away.
I've been asked to do some of those. Yeah, just the over-the-shoulder ADR stuff.
Yeah.
And then you always put them in, and someone just goes, chorizo! Or, it's like, what? That wasn't, it's never part of the scene. You can always tell that the side of their face is not moving. It's like, why did they just yell out chorizo? Except that it's fun to say.
So now you wrote
No, I had one more Eric Hovde joke.
Okay.
What's the difference between me? I have 2 more Eric Hovde jokes.
That's exciting.
Okay, number 1. What's the difference between me and Eric Hovde?
I don't know. What's the difference?
I don't know either.
Really good.
What's the difference between me and Eric Hovde?
I'm not sure. What?
I have a Wisconsin driver's license.
Whoa! Nice. That was good. Oh, yeah. That was good. He got Lennoned.
What's that?
Lennoned.
I got Lennon. Yeah,
he got
Lennon
Hovde. No, you Lennon Hovde.
I'd actually never really heard of him until I saw all the pictures up, and I was like, oh, it's like looking in a mirror.
Nah.
I don't want to wish him well, but someone's going to have to play him in a shitty Lifetime movie at some point. Someone's going to have to, and it's going to be me or Andy Daly.
Oh,
probably Andy.
Well, 2 great options.
Probably be Andy. Yeah.
But we're gonna honestly, we have great options.
We just got to talk about it.
We just got to talk about it.
We'll let you know in a couple weeks.
We're just gonna have to go talk about it. But we think you're amazing.
Love it. I have tickets for Taliesin tomorrow at 11:15 a.m.
Oh, really? Really?
I'm going to Taliesin at 11:15 a.m. tomorrow.
11:15. That's great. And then you'll walk around and be like, look at that.
Look at that. There's a 4-hour tour, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I have ADD.
4 hours.
There's a 4-hour tour, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't care.
We went to the Biltmore Castle.
Sure.
In North Carolina, and there's a little hand. They make you can walk around with a.
Who are the Biltmore? Is this?
The Biltmore is
some
the name
sort
of the
robber barons.
Yes, it's
I
think, Carnegie's, Rockefellers.
The Carnegies?
Vanderbilts.
Oh,
it's the third one.
Yes.
But they give you a little thing where you can listen as you walk around. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
So you wrote a book called Writing Movies for Fun and Profit, How We Made $1 billion at the box office.
I would like to point out on the actual title, the words fun and is crossed out, so it's actually Writing Movies for Profit. It was a joke, but it's actually true. It literally is crossed out on the title page.
That's funny.
It's funny enough.
Because it was for profit.
It was fun. We actually
You had fun, though.
Here's the thing. We were such dicks when we wrote that book called that we were like, now we can't take the money. So we actually gave all the money from the book to the USO.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, it was just like we made it. It's such an obnoxious title. You're like, you can't do that and then be like, look, and then we got more money.
Right. Well, that
It
tells
just
you
seemed
something.
like a dick move.
Well, it's funny too because the people that write books like How to Make a Million, they're doing the book is the way they're making the money.
Of course. We actually had a chapter in the screenwriting book, but we took it out because it was so mean. And it was a chapter that listed all of the movies that had ever been released by all the people who had written other screenwriting books. And like Robert McKee, who ended up becoming a person that I like a lot later, but like his only movie credit is Barbie and the Dream Castle, which is a TV movie in the sort of mid-'80s.
Ah, but they were ahead of the curve on the Barbie thing.
They really were.
It almost caught
But,
fire.
Yeah, so it was just interesting. Like we took some time to write like how would you actually write movies if you really did it for a living, like all the time, you know, and like had to deal with the studio system, which I think you know a little bit about. It can be very tough. Most of the movies they're making, they kind of hate already, you know. So it's it's an interesting racket.
What do you think about the studios and the threat of AI replacing joke writing?
Yeah, have you ever heard a really great AI joke yet? This is like a weird nuance. Like jokes are a very elusive thing. I mean, I think AI is going to do a lot of weird things. It already shows you weird photos. Have you seen all the things that like everything like turns into something? Like people are like, they sneeze and then they turn into a pile of lumber and then like spiders come out of there. Like, everything's just fucking weird. So I think it's going to be great at shit to look at when you're on mushrooms for like a second. It's going to be great at like doing a visualizer for your iTunes screen. But I don't know if it's going to write really funny stuff. In fact, I actually think that comedy might be a pretty safe thing from the robots for a while.
What a thing to say about the robots that are hearing every word of this and using it. Where all of this is being added to their mainframe.
It was so funny. When I was a boy, we were super worried about a Y2K happening, and we had one yesterday.
Yeah.
We actually had one, and it was like sort of in the news. But we were all like making love on mountains because we knew we were gonna die. We're like, the second it goes to midnight, we're all dead. Every plane's gonna fall out of the sky. Remember that?
Yeah,
we all thought that for sure.
I remember Y2K.
Yeah, and then we had it yesterday, and everybody's like, nah.
They're like, oh, we
You
never
couldn't fly
thought.
on Spirit? Is that the worst thing that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I will say a lot of Republicans. Hey. A lot of Republicans did get stuck in Milwaukee for several more hours.
Milwaukee's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful town. It's a great, great town.
Yeah, we did have a Y2K. I actually slept through the Y2K. When I woke up, the Y2K was already over.
Were you a little bit bummed?
Well, it's like, wait, what's up?
Oh my God, Y2K, come on, Y2K. And then it's like, you know how, okay, this is going to sound mean, but we're in the Midwest. You know how when you hear about a storm that's going to hit Florida, it sounds really scary? And you're like, oh, that sounds cool. But every time it gets to the shore, it's a Category 4 storm. It's just like Y2K was that. We were like, oh my gosh, an airplane's going to fall out of the sky. Not really.
Yeah. The thing
Your coffee maker messed up for a second.
For a second.
Not even.
And then people saying their smart fridges weren't working. It's like, hey, that was a stupid thing to buy.
Why did you?
Your fridge worked fine when it was dumb as hell.
The only fridge improvement, and thank you, robot overlords, is have you seen the fridge that the door is glass?
Yeah.
So you can see what that is. Okay.
Yeah, it was smart to make the fridge glass door
One for
glass.
the robots on that one.
One for the robots. Well,
way to go. Point robots.
You see that some of the CVS's have replaced the glass doors on the drink cabinets with a screen that displays what drinks are behind the cabinet?
And then you go call someone and say, could you please help me get this drink out? And then they come over real mad about it. And then they have to find a key.
They got to find the key.
Ugh.
But you don't need a screen because you had glass. Glass was
Minus one
nature's,
to the minus one robots.
We didn't need
minus
a TV
one.
here. We didn't need a TV on this side. We had glass.
We could have looked at the item.
Yeah, it's nature's glass.
Yeah.
Nature's glass is the computer
But
screen.
it's not as cool.
It's not as cool. They can't.
Like,
Somehow
wow,
they can't
that's
put ads
a digital
on it.
Powerade that represents an actual Powerade.
Now, there's a viral clip. There's a clip of you on TikTok that is everywhere all the time, 24/7
Yeah,
a
I've seen
day.
it, yeah.
Can we see? Can we show the clip?
Wait, what? I'm just goofing. New boot goofing. Oh!
And I think what's amazing about this clip, it's not just that people say new boot goofing all the time.
They do.
It's a cadence. Da 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 da.
No, but yeah, it's a trip.
Ba, 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 ba.
No, but yeah.
People must be shouting at this at you all the time.
It is. There's actually 2 beers called New Boot Goofing that I found out about. And I was like, hey, would you send me some? And they're like, yeah. And then they sent me like 1. And I was like, why don't I send you a cease and desist? But no, they're lovely.
They sent you 1?
They sent me like a beer. It was so cute. But I'm from cable. I'm used to that kind of thing. Here's the other big bummer about the Lieutenant Dangle and the boots and everything is there's an official Lieutenant Dangle Halloween costume that like Comedy Central and Viacom that they sell, but it got a little bit popular and it was a little bit expensive. So Spirit Halloween makes a fake one that does way better, and it's called Sergeant Short Pants. And I don't know why I'm giving you a plug for the one Sergeant Short Pants. They sell. It's like always next to like the inflatable, like dress up like a penis. That's an actual Hot Spirit Halloween also.
Yeah. You kind of put them together if you wanted.
Definitely you'll see those guys together places.
Yeah, Captain Penis and Sergeant Short
Yep.
Pants.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, that's not a terrible Comedy Central series for us to pitch right now.
Yeah. Captain Penis and Sergeant Short Pants.
Sergeant Short Pants. Solving just old Sherlock Holmes mysteries that already exist.
Oh, can I tell you something?
Let AI write that one.
Here's
Come on.
my.
Can't be that hard.
I cannot believe you just take every fucking T.J. Hooker script, Law and Order script, take
Do it.
them all, give them into the AI, and
Yeah,
say,
scrape it.
Put them in space. Just put this all in space. Change it all to space.
What happens? What happens to the robots? Do they explode like Videodrome when you put Leprechaun in space and say put it in space? What does the AI do? It blows up the mainframe.
Like that movie Millennium.
What's the movie Millennium? Remind me.
With that singer who died, Kris Kristofferson, and the airplanes.
This sucks because I'm just finding out that Kris Kristofferson died.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Chris, I hate. This is not the way you were supposed to hear.
I need a minute.
This is not the way we wanted you to know that Kris
fuck.
Kristofferson died. This is just not how we thought you'd
Kris
find out.
Kristofferson, if you don't send me flowers, you don't sing me love songs, you hardly talk to me anymore when I come through the door, is dead.
Yeah, that one.
Are we sure?
Honestly, no. He may be alive.
I think he's fine. And
No, because wait, if Kris Kristofferson
Kris Kristofferson is my Schrodinger's cat.
is Kris Kristofferson.
I believe that he is alive and fine.
Well,
and he's an Aspen or some bullshit.
One note. I do want to reference a mistake that I made on this weekend's
Thank
Love It or
God.
Leave It.
I know
everyone's
which
been
is
worrying.
This.
Truly,
In my
on pins and
conversation
needles.
with Thomas Lennon, I thought that Kris Kristofferson, who stars in the 1989 sci-fi film Millennium,
Which we all remember and know.
And definitely has a lot to do with Katharine Hepburn.
has passed away. But I wanted to provide an editor's note. The reason I thought Kris Kristofferson was dead was because Kris Kristofferson had beef with Toby Keith. And when Toby Keith died in February, people were posting links to awesome stories about Kris Kristofferson, including when he shamed Toby Keith and when he stood up for Sinead O'Connor. This was all very good. However, my wires got Kris Kristofferson.
Yes, 100%.
And that's why, because I, upon the occasion of Toby Keith's death, did a deep dive into Kris Kristofferson, thereby thinking that he had passed away when, have you heard the good news? Kris Kristofferson lives. And I hope he lives many years to come, because he's a legend, an icon, and cool dude.
My version of that is Tim Curry.
Yes,
He's alive, but I incessantly think, well, he must have already passed away. But he
I
hasn't.
believe he's had some medical challenges.
Yes, yeah. So I think he's been out of the limelight, but I when he does die, I will know because I'm such a huge fan, and everyone will be posting about it.
Anyway, to those in the comments reminding me that Kris Kristofferson is alive, thank you.
Get a life.
Thank you for holding me accountable.
Get a
That's what I said to
life.
Kris Kristofferson.
And he said, I'm alive.
He
I
did.
He
know.
said, I am. I will. And I do.
He said, how did you get in here? Please get out of here.
Do you know, by the way, so the house I grew up in is 3 blocks on the exact same street as the Frank Lloyd Wright home and studio.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Don't
That's
clap
weird.
for that.
That's weird. Don't clap
He's
for
a
that.
super weird dude.
He's a weird guy. We don't know anything.
After his 3rd wife, he started dating a sophomore at Madison. I didn't do it. You're like, I'm bringing you the news.
He's bringing
it
us
sucks.
the news.
It sucks.
Have you heard the good news? Kris Kristofferson has risen. Now, it's time. It's time to. We've talked
Shit, we're
about.
gonna have to check the news when does this come out?
It comes out tomorrow, I
Oh,
believe. If we can get.
Whew.
And
'Cause he
so
is
as long
up
as
there.
he makes it through this night. I'm like, my mind is fucking blown. Because I thought Kris Kristofferson, the star of the film Millennium, which doesn't exist.
What the fuck is the film? There is no film
It
Millennium.
does exist. It was him. But he didn't die. Then who died? Who was
What? Love it. What happens in the film Millennium?
In the film Millennium,
Yeah.
in the film Millennium, people in the future and their magical computers send
Yes.
people back in time to take human beings off planes that were about to crash anyway, to bring them to the future to reproduce because they can't reproduce in the future. Then they put fake corpses onto the planes that were going to crash anyway so they don't change the past, and they crash those planes. An investigator, Kris Kristofferson, starts to find their future technology and begins to piece together the fact that humans from the future are sending fake dead bodies back in time to steal the real live bodies to make new people in the broken dystopian future of Millennium.
It's genuinely a better idea than I've ever had.
It's a really
Yeah.
good idea.
It's also a little bit like Scientology.
Yeah. As
Like
every
it's kind
good,
of like the Cliff Notes. It's
what
a
good
little bit
idea,
the Cliff Notes.
What
Yeah.
good idea isn't a little bit like Scientology? So now you are an incredible writer who has written on so many projects.
I'm a busy writer.
You're very busy, so it's time we play a twist on a Love It or
Okay.
Leave It classic called Did I Write This? We're going to have Kris out there. Kris is over there.
I thought you were going to use the Urkel. Did I write this?
That's better. That's a good pitch, but you weren't here. You didn't pitch that till now. All right. If somebody would like to, somebody raise your hand. Want to answer a question? Yeah, this person right there, right next to you, Kris. All right. Oh, do you have cards?
No, do I need cards?
Here, you can.
All right. Oh. Okay.
Well, we're going to
Oh,
share. We're going to
yes,
share.
Okay.
You can take that
Okay.
one.
So this is the question. Was I the pen behind, and I'm going to say her name properly, the Lindsay Lohan vehicle Herbie Fully Loaded?
Yes.
Do we like make it a big deal? Yes, correct.
You got it.
Correct.
So you talk about in the book about making this movie. What is your takeaway now, all these years later?
A couple things. Lindsay Lohan is she's excellent in the film. The film actually did really well, and everyone just hated us so much when that movie came out. The reason, it's in the actual poster right now. We actually got fired, even though I'm in the movie at some point. We got fired off of writing the film because the studio producer, after something happened, was like, and then Herbie's gonna smile, and we were like, Herbie's not fucking like liquid metal. He's not the T1. He can, his lights go on and off. His trunk opens. He goes beep beep. But he's not gonna go like fucking smile, like the Joker. That's insane.
That's crazy.
If the car smiles at Lindsay Lohan, she's gonna go, that's crazy. This is a sentient, like insane thing. So that was the hill that we died on, and then we. So for some reason, we were perfectly happy to write a Herbie Fully Loaded movie, but going to be dicks about that the car couldn't smile, which was such an awesome idea.
No, and that's
And they really got us on the poster.
right because the car does seem to smile.
He has just got a shit-eating grin on his face. He's almost saying, "Hi, Tom."
So Herbie is a
Yeah.
sentient vehicle.
Herbie. This was actually, I think, probably something like the 6th Herbie movie, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It was a interesting time to write that picture for sure.
So, did Thomas write Weird, the Al Yankovic story?
No.
That's correct.
Okay, I wrote. Did I write Reno 911: The Hunt for QAnon? It's distressing how many of you have not seen that. That's a real movie.
I'm a big fan. I just found out about this.
Okay, that's really fucking distressing. This
go
is a
with yes.
giant movie that came out on Paramount Plus. I thought it was a giant movie. Sorry, the answer was yeah.
I'm going to go with yes.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, yes. One of my smarty pants friends pointed out, they're like, shouldn't it really be called Reno 911: The Hunt for Q? And I was like, yeah, but they already told us what the title was.
That's right, because
So-
QAnon is everywhere.
And plus, like, we didn't make Herbie smile. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking do this again. They told us what the title was. Shut up and do it sometimes. The answer to who Q is in that movie is RuPaul and a Speak and Spell.
That's cool. That's as good a guess as any.
But it's.
As good a guess as
I
any.
already spoiled it. Please watch it. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it'd be good if they just hit
If
play
everybody
and left
just
the room.
sign up for Paramount Plus and just leave me on. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Did Thomas write The Pacifier starring one Vin Diesel?
I hope so. Yes.
In the book, you said you met with Jackie Chan
Mm-hmm.
to potentially star in The Pacifier before Vin signed on.
It was 100% just supposed to be a Jackie Chan movie. One thing is, in the original draft, written for Jackie, pitched to Jackie. Jackie loved the idea. He said, script very good. After we pitched it, he did like some kung fu at lunch. It was really like one of the coolest days of my life. And the idea was that he goes to like a really great Chinese market and he's going to make a duck for the children. And so the children freak out, and of course then he becomes friends with the duck, and he has sort of a scene where the duck is like his Ra's al Ghul, and he kind of talks to the duck a little bit. And they become friends, and the duck, of course, is a popular character. So when Jackie ended up, they didn't want to do the movie with Jackie for a minute because the tuxedo had just kind of, in Hollywood you can cool off like in a millisecond, and then you're hot, and then you're freezing cold, and you're hot. It's gaslighting all the time. So, so Jackie was no longer going to be in the movie. It was Vin Diesel, and I was like, well, let me go do a pass because we obviously have to cut the duck. That doesn't make sense. And they're like, no. The only thing in the movie that for sure stays is the duck. We're like, but why? And they're like, because he has a duck. I'm like, how? Fucking poster. I'm always wrong. Look at the fucking
Look at the
poster.
duck.
Every hill I die on is in the poster going like that. Ducks and smiling beetles.
Did they make the car smile? I guess so.
They did make the car smile. Pacifier
Yeah.
was a sort of oddly a big hit.
Yeah, I get it.
So was Herbie, by the way, even though it was a weird movie.
Well, because it's about a sentient car that has no rights.
Yeah, we did.
Car has just zero fucking zero
we did-
autonomy.
We made a huge mistake, which was at the premiere of Herbie Fully Loaded at the El Capitan in Hollywood. We talked to Nina Jacobson, who was the president of Disney, about what the sequel was going to be. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever go to the bar and be like, woohoo, what's the next one? Herbie's
So
going to
guys,
get
don't
into
do that.
Don't do that.
Don't
Don't
do
ever
that.
talk about what the
You're
next
at the
Herbie
El
movie is going
Capitan
to be.
with Nina Jacobson,
No.
the former head of the studio.
Yeah.
You don't bring up the sequel for
No.
Herbie.
We all
Herbie.
talk about it, high-fiving early. Don't do it. It's a curse.
That's the curse.
The curse
famously.
of talking about the movie too much.
Did Thomas write for Comedy Central's legendary comedy series Strangers with Candy?
I'm a contrarian. No.
Incorrect. Come on.
That was an interesting one because so Stephen Colbert was the head writer of Strangers with Candy, who has also played one of the main characters there. But really, almost nobody else wrote Strangers with Candy episodes. I don't know why they really let me write one, but I wrote the one where Jerry had traded away. She'd had a child years ago that she traded for a guitar. And then this new boy comes to school, and it seems like this might be the boy that she traded for. So she goes to the Sadie Hawkins dance with what might be her son. And it's like very romantic, and she gives a long speech about how she always wondered what happened to that guitar. It was a good episode. Stephen Colbert is a tough guy to work for on that show. Tough. He's very he's very hands-on writing.
Really?
Yeah, very.
He's smart.
Oh yeah.
And he's so funny.
It gets a little. Sometimes it feels like intense.
I like that.
I mean, we're friends, but it feels it's like definitely like the stakes are high. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to let him down.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Because we've gone on the
big
Late
show.
Show
Yeah.
with, and it's the people you meet, and they're just like, I don't know. I'm pretty inured to it at this point, but I am so nervous.
Oh no, that
to
one is
impress
particularly
him, 'cause you can just see it. He's so smart.
Yes.
He's so funny.
Yes.
He has such there's also just like a righteousness to him, like an integrity to
Yeah.
how he does things.
Yes.
That it's just I really want. I want to do for him what he wants me to do. You know, it's
Exactly,
like it's
yeah.
not that I want his approval. I want to succeed in the way he hopes.
Oh,
to
I want his
succeed.
approval very much.
And I also
Yeah.
want the approval.
I want his approval.
100%.
One time he told me that I look handsome, and it was the first time I was happy in, 35, 40 years. But, that was just, it felt good. Yeah.
I think you're handsome.
Oh, thanks very much. I look a little bit like Eric Hovde.
Yeah. But not in any way that matters. You know? Come on. You're pulling it off.
That's a great Strangers with Candy, also on Paramount Plus. Please go to Paramount Plus, everybody.
And if you take anything away
Just
from
put
this,
it on. Just put it on.
just put it
Crying
on
out loud.
And when the box
Just
drops
put
down,
on Paramount Plus,
Put
you
it on
guys.
Paramount Plus. When the box drops down and says,
Crying
"Why
out
are you
loud.
here?" You say, "Thomas Lennon
I
sent me."
like this. Just put a thumb on it.
What? You keep having your hand raised, but it's. What's your question?
So my wife hasn't seen Reno 911
That's a
yet.
sentence.
It is. Should I start her with that film?
With the Hunt for QAnon?
Yeah.
I was about to say, will it make sense? But it's like, when did it ever make sense?
Never
Right.
made sense.
So it's
Yes.
like, fuck it, absolutely.
All right. You got it. This
Yeah,
weekend.
it's a novel that can be read in any order.
Yeah.
Which is
That's the beauty
a
of it.
Malaparte.
That's the
Ethan
beauty
Hawke.
of it. All right, Thomas Lennon,
Yes.
thank you so much for being
Oh
here.
my God, love it.